My name is Cayson Hall. I live in Lebanon, Missouri.
I'd really like bull riding.
I always used to beg my mom and dad to let me ride, and they eventually gave in to letting me ride.
I'd really like the rush and the feeling of riding your bull. And you're in the crowd shoes are the best parts about it.
Knowing people are watching you doing what you love. When I got her, it was March 9th in 2024 in Natural Dam, Arkansas. I got on my bull and he reared up in the chutes with me and I was acting up and all that. And when I nodded, I remember feeling him dip left and trying to jump real high in the air and then trying to go riot. I remember getting slung forwards, and then I just remember being in the arena, coughing up blood.
I was videoing from a little ways down the arena, and from what I could see, he came out on his bull and he looked good, and then all of a sudden got jerked down, and it just looked like he probably got stunned really hard, because when he came off the bull, he was laying down in the arena for a second, and then I see Dustin and Cayson's stepbrother Kyler jump over the back of the chutes and run in to him, so I knew it was more serious. Started making my way down towards where you can get in case it was worse than what we thought it was, and it was, unfortunately, and they motioned for me to come into the arena. I'll never forget his face when I walked into the arena. He looked right at me with his big eyes and went like this to me, like, to come here, and his color was really bad. He was gray. He was struggling to breathe, and he was coughing up blood, and it's something you'll never forget. Cayson was med-flighted to Arkansas Children's Hospital from Natural Dam, Arkansas. When he got to the hospital, we quickly found out that it was an airway injury, and it was very, very critical. It was like blunt force trauma. As the bull was turning his head back, his horn basically hit Cayson across the neck, kind of like someone getting hit in the neck with a baseball bat.
So we see trauma to the neck pretty frequently, unfortunately. But I've never, in my 15 plus years of training, ever seen an injury like Cayson's. When I went to intubate Cayson, it was like a bomb had gone off, and it was nothing short of a miracle that I was able to secure his airway. Once we secured his airway, we have to look at other injuries, and that's kind of the whole process that unfolded. And the way I told the family, it's like if you put together a puzzle on your table and then lifted it off and dropped it, and then randomly took pieces and cut them in half and then tried to put together the puzzle. That's kind of what we were dealing with. We secured his airway, I fixed as much as possible. We put a trach in, which is a little temporary breathing device below the level of injury, and put a stent above to allow the healing to occur in a way that it would not completely seal off his airway.
Dr. Wineland had us all kind of gather together in the waiting room, and he said, I'm going to say one thing, and I want that to sink in first before we, say anything else. And he said, he's alive. And he said, and I just want you guys to let that sink in first, because, we're really fortunate that he is. Cayson spent a total of 47 days in Arkansas Children's Hospital, 13 days in the ICU. Cayson had a total of 11 surgeries, including his initial repair.
Each surgery was designed for a particular purpose. So the first surgery was essentially to save his life. And while I was there, I reconstructed as much as I could, vocal cords, the ability to essentially try to swallow. Not only are we dealing with physical things that were destroyed, we're also dealing with nerves that control muscles and have sensory function. There's a lot of baby steps that we need to get through. Swallowing is one, breathing is one. At that point, we did not know his neurological status. So I said, I don't know if he's going to be able to walk again. I don't know if he's going to be the same Cayson. And lo and behold, he's a fighter. And he pulled through, and he surprises me every time I see him, both with his attitude and his personality.
Looking back on the day of his accident and watching how much Cayson has progressed, being a part of that, it's just been, an incredible experience for us. Very overwhelming, it's been incredible just being able to start watching him be able to be a kid again, to being able to see him get back to doing what he loves.
Every time in the year and a half that I met with Cayson, he asked me, can I get back on the bull? And just recently, I said yes.
On September 7th, I finally got back on another one. And I was really nervous because they were just like big stairs. I didn't think I'd get hurt or anything. But I was really nervous about bucking off and making the full month.
been a great experience with Arkansas Children's. They were phenomenal.
I'm just super thankful for Dr. Wineland, and everybody that's here, because I still got my son here with me every day.
I thank all the nurses and Dr. Wineland for being there when I needed that and blessing me with